with, with doing a potential Bitcoin backed crypto. That's not necessarily what this one that I'm working on right this moment is going to be, but I've been looking into interest in Bitcoin. You have stable coins that are backed by, baskets of fiat, and you have your new what was I listening to today? The GTX. I don't know if it's GTX, but the gold backed crypto. Anyway, just playing with different ideas, really. Nothing set in stone. Well, the only difficulty that I'm having as honestly a non-coder or a novice coder with the current project is just getting my Windows executable. For some reason, I'm having difficulty with the very last step of Gideon, getting the Windows executables going. I keep on getting a set arch. What does it say? Failed to run on target set arch x86. So something's going on.
You guys talking way over my head. I heard arch. I'm like, a Big Mac? What?
I was wishing not. I was hoping that you were going to say, "Oh, Greg, that's no problem."
Oh yeah, I can fix that. No, I'm definitely not a developer. So I tried to do a little coding at some point, and I do so much stuff. Like I run different businesses or whatever. Like you just got to figure out what you like have time to learn and what you don't. Those are my poker chips. I always play poker chips the entire time. You'll hear them drop like once or twice. So are you guys ready?
I do.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go live here. All right. We should be live here. I'm going to pull up YouTube and check out the chat.
I can't tell you.
You guys see me looking down at my phone. I'm looking at the chat.
He's a tech savvy guy, going to show you the way. You better load your bags, cause crypto's here to stay. Listen up, gonna teach you about this and that.
It seems to take a few extra. It used to like as soon as you would click live stream, go live, but now.
So join in and have a laugh. It's gonna be a good time, that's a fact. Information and crypto parodies. Sit back and enjoy the show. You just never know which way you'll go. Get ready for, get ready for, get ready for DigitSpin crypto.
All right. I'll turn the music off and we're all set. Greg, you said you're not broadcasting?
No, I'm not going to. You guys go ahead. I'll just.
Okay. All right. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're live. We're live for sure. Just not showing up on my app for some reason. All right. So yeah. So let's talk. It's been pretty crazy couple hours here.
Yeah, absolutely. I've was chatting on Telegram and noticing Chico Crypto got canned today.
Yeah.
And
people that watch my channel know I love that guy.
Yeah.
It's like I said, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy,
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. But the problem lies is that with YouTube going out there and randomly picking out channels, and the problem is we don't know what exactly it is that he did that caused the problem. And since I brought it up, a lot of the other YouTubers were mentioning, they've been hit also, and they won't give a description of actually what's causing the problem.
Right.
And that's the scary part. They take out these channels one at a time, and you don't know what for.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, and I've had this happen to me before where I got a strike. Or not a strike. It was a warning. So your first one, you're going to get a warning. You're not going to actually get a strike. And basically what happened is I had been working with a company called Upstake. It's a online casino. I talk a lot about gambling and online, crypto casinos and stuff like that. And I had gotten a warning, and somebody had told me that it was probably because I had that link in my videos. And so they had gotten one first. So I went to all my videos, removed all of them. And sure enough, the only one that got flagged was the one video that I left a link in. And so that, like, to me was like, okay, it definitely has to do with, your description. And, YouTube has gotten a little bit smarter about the way that they automatically convert things over to captions. So in a way, they're like turning your videos into text. So your videos, what you're saying, the videos are readable as well. But it's got to be something that all these videos have in common. And this is the example that I use is HOAs, right? So in my neighborhood, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh, it can't be this because this person did this and they didn't get flagged. Well, in my neighborhood, I have like crab or Bermuda grass. Whatever I have, we're not supposed to have the other one. And I've got some patches of green from the other kind of grass in my yard, and I got flagged by my HOA. None of my neighbors got flagged, and they're all 10 times worse. So just because I got flagged and they didn't doesn't mean that theirs isn't a violation. I'm just the one that got unlucky. So I think that is very similar to what's going on right now.
Well, 2 points that I'm going to hit right away is I actually got a letter from my HOA saying my grass wasn't green enough.
Well, see,
The second
in my
one,
neighborhood, it's all supposed to be yellow now because it's winter, and I got one because I have green in my yard.
the second one is that I know for a fact that gambling sites are listed specifically on YouTube's channel and listing in information, and they definitely will strike you for that. I was going through; there was at least 5 or 6 of them. Ben was worried about it, and by the way, for the viewers on my show, Ben Armstrong, he's from Bitboy Crypto, an awesome show. You definitely want to check him out. Goes over a lot of great stuff, does his Fresh 5 countdown on the news, and I'm sure if you don't know about him, you should. So definitely visit Ben. You've been around a long time, right, Ben, in crypto?
I've been in crypto since 2012. I have a claim from Mt. Gox, and I got a lot of the stories from back in the day, but I wasn't like full time in crypto until 2018. So.
In 2018.
It was just something that I kind of did on the side for a long time.
That makes sense. And then we got Greg Ward, Electroneum Universe, and he focuses or loves Electroneum. And additionally, Greg has a great channel, and he dabbles in a lot of other stuff, little businesses on the side. And I heard that you're doing a Litecoin change or a Litecoin fork to test it out and play with.
Yeah, this is true. So I'm a musician full time by trade. I'm a crypto lover. Got into it honestly more through ETN than anything. Somebody turned me on to ETN, and loved the vision and started getting into it. Kicked myself in the butt for not getting into it back in 2011 with Bitcoin. But yeah, well, we started running the etnmarketplace.org and running the YouTube channel and just having a good time. So glad to be here.
Great. And I'm Dino from DigitSpin Crypto, and I handle Bitcoin and all different types of altcoins. High-end technical. I got 30 years systems engineering experience, so I give you a lot of technical background, whether it be mining or software or coins. But I do focus mainly on Bitcoin, Electroneum, and a few others. But obviously, feel free to stop by DigitSpin Crypto also. So, just wanted to introduce. I also left an open link, so we may have others that will pop in and out. I'm not sure if any of the others will, but we did leave a link on the Telegram. So hopefully, we'll get a couple others just stop in and say hello.
Yeah, awesome. Well, yeah, you guys make sure to subscribe to these guys' channels. This kind of all started because we're in a crypto influencer. It's toxic words there. Crypto influencer Telegram channel where there's about 150 of us. A lot of almost all the big YouTubers except for Chico is sitting there because. Yeah. I mean, Crypto Zombies in there. Crow is the one that started it, and. The long and the short of it is we've all been talking today because at first it was like Chico was talking about his channel got banned or not banned. He had a bunch of videos deleted. and he got a bunch of he got a strike. He can't upload for a week. Uh, oh, pity, pity. But the big thing is that he's not the only one. There's a lot of other channels that are getting hit. I think maybe Omar got hit. Crypto's News, I saw him talking about that. I think he mentioned
Yeah.
something about maybe some of Altcoin Daily videos got knocked down. A guy, God, what is the guy's name? Chris Dunn. I don't really know much about him, but he apparently had like 200 videos removed. And the question is this just some kind of like random wave where it's just like some word that triggered all of these crypto videos to get deleted, or are we actually in a cryptop? Wait, hold on. I'm gonna try to say it again. Hold on. Cryptocalypse. There we go. Are we in a cryptocalypse right now on YouTube? Are we about to start seeing YouTube videos about crypto deleted? What do you think? I mean, you think that's something that we could see?
It's you know, it's possible because they've actually gone out of their way to ban it, advertising wise, and because folks really don't know much about it. They're gonna fall on this side of the fence if it even looks fishy or weird. So personally, I was looking through some of the channels and I noticed the guys that were having the problems, and I don't know if this is true, but are putting links in the description to go to this exchange or to do buy this here, and I think those links can also cause problems. So there may be they're going to be clamping down on it because supposedly it's dangerous content, and it's unfortunate, but we need to start talking about it now because it's happening to a lot of channels, and if they all get booted, there won't be anybody left to talk about it. So that's the reason why I wanted to kind of discuss it tonight, and it's concerning. It's concerning because you should be able to do what you want with your money, and who's has the right to say you can't do that or discuss it. You make it sound like we're chopping people's skulls off or something, and that's not the case here. It's kind of scary, and it's worrisome in this day and age, the amount of censorship that's going on. But I'm not sure what the options are. It's tough to be on a different platform because there's just so many people on YouTube, and it's got a critical mass, and I'm not sure there's any way to replace it. I know there's a lot of other options out there, but it's
But there's really not though. Here's the thing about it. Everybody in crypto wants to be like, oh, use this decentralized platform. It's great. Like I just got asked to join SoMe official or SoMe SOMEE something like that. I'm gonna join it. I'm gonna try it because a lot of crypto people are doing it, and that's great. However, if you really want people to see your content and you really want to make changes or be able to educate people, you have to go to where the people are. It doesn't matter. I can have the best message ever, and it can be totally uncensored. But if I give it to the mirror, it's not going to affect anything.
yeah.
You know? So you have to be able to, kind of balance trying to try out new platforms and decentralized platforms, but at the same time, if you're not able to put content out on YouTube or on Twitter or on TikTok or any of the bigger places that people are going to consume content, you might as well be talking to a wall. So, we definitely want to push more decentralized platforms and censorship resistant platforms. But at the same time, like you still have to have a presence on YouTube to be able to get the message of crypto out. And if YouTube is clamping down on that, then we might be in for a real bumpy ride because YouTube is where almost all the education in crypto happens.
Agreed.
Well, the big question
Agreed.
is why, like you said, why are they doing it? What's the real? That's what's not fair about it is they're not giving any kind of guidelines,
Right.
right? So I mean, you could see why people they're taking down videos that their claim is racist or anti-Semitic or different things, right? They have guidelines that obviously quote that criteria. But you start getting into cryptocurrency, like you said, I think the key word is influencer, right? So as Dino says, you got links that you're leaving down below, could that be construed as financial advice by you're sending them? I mean, I don't think so personally. When you go to the health food store, they can't tell you to take these things because that's medical advice, but they could throw you a book and say, hey, look to see what you find in here, and if you find something in here that we have on the shelf, go ahead and get it. But I think people, I think we need to have a true critique and a guideline, because like Dino said, we need the freedom to be able to speak to the people about what is out there. We need to give them the information, but knowing at the same time that the influence that you truly have over these people is a great responsibility, right? There are people out there who are telling people financial advice. You have no right to tell people financial advice, and people are listening because the power of the word and the visual aspect of YouTube. I get on there all day long, and I educate myself on different topics. But if you're talking about something that is esoteric to some degree to some people, cryptocurrency, what is that? They don't know what it is, but they know they want to get in on something before that's too late. So I think, I don't know what, if you found anything amongst these different people that seemed borderline financial advice that could be construed, that way. But
Yeah, I didn't have the time to go through everybody's videos, but I did notice the links, and there was a lot of links going to different exchanges and what have you. So I'm thinking, I usually don't have links. I really don't do referrals. But then again, it's not my full-time job. You do this full-time, Ben?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, people like Ben, he's got to be able to make money and to be able to pay the bills. And so, he's got to be able to have referrals and what have you. And
well,
that...
about going to these exchanges. There's something, there should be anything legal about giving out information such as exchanges address.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And this is the thing about it, though. The frustrating thing, and I talk about a lot on my channel, and when I go give talks about blockchain and decentralization, talk about the YouTube shooter a lot. The girl that got demonetized on YouTube, and she went to the YouTube headquarters and she shot 3 people. And YouTube, like, they didn't learn any kind of lesson from what happened there. What happened is they demonetized her, and YouTube is not the only one. Obviously, Google is YouTube, but Facebook, Google, all of these companies, Instagram is shutting down influencers left and right now. They're faceless corporations. And so what happens is people, their livelihoods are depending upon, whether or not their children can eat, depend upon the continuous stream of income they have coming through these different channels, no pun intended there. But YouTube is one of these channels that people are using to make income for themselves. So all of a sudden, when one day you wake up and you get a notification from YouTube, which you've put your whole life into at this point, saying, oh, all of a sudden you can't make money on your channel overnight. And not only that, the crazy thing about it is not that just one day you can get this notification like, hey, you can't get paid on YouTube anymore. The frustrating part that drives people absolutely insane and pushes them to the brink of doing dangerous things is because they can't get an answer on why. There's no why. Because if there was a why, you could change what it was and you could fix it. Never a why. And that's the way they've designed it. And that is really like one of the things that is really, in my opinion, pushing decentralization and pushing censorship resistant platforms where they're going to be bigger, is because everyone deserves to know why their account is getting banned. And if we can't have uniform rules and people actually being told what's going on, then we might as well just have platforms that, like, regardless of what people put on there, they're censorship resistant.
Yep. That's a mouthful, and you've brought up a lot of different points. And if it comes down to if there's no justice, people get crazy and they start to, like you say, you're dramatically affecting their personal lives, and so that's the reason why you'll see them personally. So that's a very valid point and something important. But the feedback would definitely be helpful. Even when you're at your best, trying to understand what's going on, the changes that they make in the algorithms. Just contacting somebody to find out, what's going on with your account is almost impossible. It's like dealing with an AI. You have no idea if there's actually anybody there.
With. That is what you're dealing with. When you are contacting these companies and you are asking for an appeal, it's literally AI. You're talking to a robot. That's what's so frustrating. They say they have some kind of change to the algorithm that triggers something that they send out strikes or warnings or notifications or removals, and then at that point, once that happens, all your contact at that point is with AI. They have a certain appeal form, and all they're going to do is run another algorithm based on what your appeal is asking, and they're going to be like, nope, that's still in there, or it's not in there, or sometimes it's not in there, but you know what, it was in there, so we're going to deny your appeal anyways because it was a violation. That's why it's almost impossible to get appeals done on YouTube.
Wow.
Do you think it's crypto specific, or it seems like, based on even what you were talking about previously, that it seems just to be general around the board.
It's general.
Go ahead, Greg.
No, it's general. I've been watching. There are guys who I've watched a lot of alternative news. And anybody who has mentioned the state of Israel in any form automatically has anti-Semitic, red flags come up, and several of these guys have gotten banned, and they're not speaking, anything anti-Semitic necessarily. I'm sure that there might be some out there, but from what I understand, there are some guys who, just from speaking about news about Israel, they're getting red flagged, and I'm sure there's a lot of other different news topics as well, but that's definitely a big one.
Yeah, and that's understandable. You're starting to get into gray areas, and that are going to be a lot more sensitive.
Yeah, I agree.
But other categories.
We don't want to get the live stream banned.
No, please. No demonetization.
Yeah.
But
I'm making dollars right now. But the thing about it is when usually, okay, so I'm going to tell you the last 2 times that I know that this happened. I believe one was in either December or January of last year / beginning of this year. That's when I got a warning. I wish I could pull it up right now and look and find exactly when I got it. I'd have to pull up my email and stuff, but I think it was in December of last year is when I got a warning. And a bunch of other channels got hit at the same time with warnings for having gambling links in their description. Then in May, it happened again. And I know this because my sister graduated in May, and we were at her graduation party, and I was dealing with texting all these different people that were getting strikes, crypto people left and right. And then it happens again in December. So it's almost like they have like a planned sweep every 6 months. And crypto channels, this is the thing you got to know, is when it comes to crypto channels, we all do things pretty much the same way. So if one of us gets hit, we all use the same language. Everybody puts links in their descriptions. People use referral links. Gambling dApps are very popular, so people might either talk about them or put them in the description. And so it's really hard to pinpoint exactly what it might be when it hits our niche. And the fear is that eventually one day they're going to hit us and they're not going to let up, and it's going to be just crypto in general that they're trying to take down. So hopefully this is just some kind of sweep that happens at every scheduled amount of time, has something to do with some language someone was using, or a link, or maybe like link shorteners, whatever it might be. It might be something simple, and hopefully this is going to be the end of it. And, in 2 weeks, we won't be talking about this anymore. But one day there's a chance it might happen, and it just takes everybody off.
Possibly. I think that 6-month window that you're talking about is kind of the cycle for revision upgrades. And like you said, could be more of when they release an update, and then that new algorithm starts to evaluate stuff. Because I noticed even in the live streams, they're doing text, speech to text instantly, and evaluating that and going through it all. So That's all a big part of it. So you haven't had that affect you yet, Greg. Have you had any strike? I've been pretty lucky. I haven't had any problems.
No, I got a couple of copyright what do you call it, warnings as far as me putting some music of somebody else's in there, but they're like, you're not in trouble though. We're just gonna give them the money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. They steal your monetization and hand it over to them. I've had that happen where somebody told me, yeah, there was copyrighted. It wasn't copyrighted music. It was safe music, but it wasn't. And I got nailed on that. But yeah, never had any outright takedown. I mean, Chico was having every video flagged, and at first thought I thought that he would, there was mass people that were putting in there, that this is
reporting him as racist,
reporting him, yeah. And then the algorithm, obviously, after so many, would shut him down, and then it would have to have a manual review. So that was my first thought on the matter until everybody else started chiming in. So it seems to be a concern. But, I do watch a lot of other YouTubers, not just in the crypto space, and they're all concerned about it also. And then you also got, in January, they can, if they decide that you're not economically feasible as a YouTube account, that they have the right to remove you. So they demonetize you, and then obviously you're not producing any money, you're not economically feasible, and then they get rid of you. It's
I'll
very
tell you that
Orwellian.
a big myth that I think people have is that, if you are dependent upon YouTube ads for your income, YouTube ads is a very small portion of most YouTubers' incomes. Now, your bigger channels that are not crypto, but like, random meme channels or whatever, like that are getting, millions of views on their videos. Yeah, they're depending on it for their ads. But in crypto, no one really has, or almost no one has a channel big enough and get enough views to be able to fully support their channel. I mean, there's probably only like 10 or 20 that can support their livelihoods off of YouTube ads. So, I mean, to me, like the fact that YouTube is like threatening, that starting next month or whenever it is, that like if they don't like your channel and they don't want to monetize it just because you meet all the requirements, they're not going to monetize it. They're not going to allow you to make money on that. To me, that if you are, a person that aspires to be a YouTuber, just know that that's not the direction that you should go anyways. I mean, you should really try to work on, whether it's getting sponsored videos or whether it's getting like product placements in your videos, whatever it is, like that's really a good way for someone that has your face on YouTube to be able to monetize your channel, because that is scary. Like if you're depending upon YouTube ads to make your money, then you're going to be in trouble. Because even Chris Dunn, who had all of these videos removed today, like, guess what? He still has his subscribers and he still has a lot of people that watch him for crypto stuff. And so through other ways, he can still make money, not just depending upon, getting some clicks on a video to get seen on the YouTube ads program.
Right. That makes sense.
Well, like you said earlier, Ben, you could have referrals and different things, and I'm sure there's a lot of YouTubers out there that if they're catching people on the first wind, they could get a nice amount of referrals and hopefully draw some income off of that as well.
Yeah. Well, one thing about it is that none of us that are doing this full time are really probably making enough money to survive in the long run. The whole thing is what we're all doing right now is we're all trying to keep these channels going and build a strong enough base so that when the people come back, when the price of Bitcoin goes back to all-time highs, and that's what everybody's got to understand. Like, whatever's going on right now is really new. You're really building for when the mass adoption hits. That's when your channel's going to have a great opportunity to really grow. There's been very few YouTubers that have been able to significantly grow channels, over the bear market. A lot of those guys that have 100,000 subscribers, other than Zombie and Altcoin Daily, those are the only two guys that I know that started their channel in the bear market that have been able to get up to the top tier.
Mm-hmm. And 100,000 is peanuts.
It's nothing. It's huge in crypto, but it's nothing in YouTube.
Yeah, in the general scheme of it. So, for the general, when you got 1 million, 5 million, 10 million, what is it? Somebody, there was somebody that hit 100 million. I think there's one person that hit 100. Yeah, maybe it's PewDiePie. Only like 100 million. Yeah, PewDiePie. And yeah, you're talking big dollars at that point.
He makes so much money. One time he was making $18 million a year on the ads program.
Can you imagine that, Greg? Yeah, you just can't do that. I mean, that's more than there are people in crypto at the moment. So there's always going to be a limited audience for us, and that 100,000 mark seems to be the big ticket for crypto shows.
Yeah,
Well, but
in
like
general.
Vince said, even thinking in terms of Electroneum, well, I guess thinking on twofold Electroneum, Dino, which is on one hand, there's 3.5 million, registered users, and our channels, only are drawing X, Y, Z amount of, 1,000 so people. But on the other hand, as Ben said, it could just be a few short years before Electroneum's in the hands of, 20 million, registered users or 50 million registered users, and Dino show is going to be the height of the season.
Yeah, well, the fact of the matter is people like Ben will jump in who have plenty of viewers, and I'll be in the bottom of the pile again.
Well, but that's this is what makes crypto such a great opportunity, and this is really why I decided to go into crypto full time and YouTube full time, is because it is a very special time in cryptocurrency, where in cryptocurrency content creation, because what you can make with a channel with 100,000 subscribers in crypto, you can't make with 10 million subscribers in some niches, or maybe that's exaggeration. Maybe 1 million to 2 million subscribers. You can make more in crypto with 100,000 than you can with 1 to 2 million in, let's say, the fitness niche or the comedy niche, and things like that. But it's going to change at some point. That's going to flip one day, where the leaders have 200,000 or 300,000 subscribers. But one day those people are going to have like 5 million subscribers or 8 million subscribers. And then the bar to get into crypto content creation is going to be much higher than it is now. That's why I've told people all during the bear market that, if you have any inkling of wanting to do this, then you have to do it now, because once the next bull run hits, it'll be over. You will not be able to get in, because the bar, all the Twitter accounts will have 100,000 followers instead of 20,000. All the YouTubers will have 500,000 subscribers instead of 50,000. So it's really a sweet time to kind of get in and make your mark, but that time is slipping away.
I'll buy that. I think you're right on target. As far as making more, I don't know, Greg. You making a lot there? As far as making more, I guess you could do that with these referral links. Because from what I understand, and even YouTube talks about that, why you got them at your show, show them what else that you can, present to them, and that's where a lot of YouTubers actually make their funds. Like, what was it, Ryan's toy show?
He's got his own toy line at Walmart.
Nice.
Does he really?
It's
crazy.
Make their own toys now.
Unbelievable. And that's where the guy's making the little kid, the parents, they put the money to the side for him, but that's where they're making money.
10%. It's only 10% they have to put aside for him.
Yeah, that is crazy. But at the same time, that's still going to add up to a big chunk of change for the kid. So that'll work out. But it's the referrals and stuff. Now, what kind of referrals? Greg, do you do referrals on yours or anything? Or
honestly, I typically don't. Sometimes I'll put a referral link in for the Electroneum. But for me, I guess a big thing for myself is I developed the ETN marketplace. So what I would like to see part of my channel at this time right now to help do is promote the marketplace to people setting up shops where they could sell stuff for ETN, feature some of the new shops that we have open. We just had 2 musical artists from Uganda that signed up and are selling digital downloads now. So, and I'm not making, anything off of this stuff right now as far as the marketplace, and especially in the bear run. But but
you want to get those types of stores running. You want to get that store running in that marketplace, right? So that when the people come, they have a place to go to.
Well, I mean, the thing is for, for these guys, as an example, in Uganda, they could create content, and it's good music. It's professional, nice music, and they're uploading it, and they're creating a store. Now, guys out west, or different other more developed nations who are purchasing ETN or mining ETN, and they've got thousands of dollars worth of ETN maybe, or however much money they've got. They could take that. It might cost them only 60 ETN to purchase this guy's download. Even in the bear market right now, they could purchase this download for 60 ETN. It cost them nothing. And this guy in Uganda, you know, they're mining what, however much they're mining, $3 worth a month. But this little bit helps a lot, to them.
Sure,
So anyway,
sure.
so to me, it's helpful to these guys even in this bear market for what we consider a bear market. It's really helpful to them. And then once again, no, I'm not doing much referrals or sponsorships, but I am kind of self-sponsoring that.
There you go. I know I really don't do much of that. To be honest with you, luckily I have a full time, or unluckily I have a full time job, so I kind of do this as a love for making things happen, and so I just kind of get involved with it. I see Matthew Gray. How you doing? That's from 99 cents, aren't you?
Yeah, I hope the invite's still open.
What up, Matt?
Yeah.
No, we're closed. Closed for business. Sorry, you gotta go.
It's good to see you, Matthew.
Thank you.
You got a little more gray going on there.
Yeah, coming in nicely.
Oh, nice.
He's starting to look like Bitboy, maybe with a little more puffy cheeks, go like this.
Matt's living up to his name.
He's got a better set of hair than all of us, I think. Bitboy.
Look at that. No thinning. No thinning in that. Y'all see? There you go.
I know.
Beautiful.
That's amazing. That's what happens when you're 30.
Yeah, exactly. Or 37.
Except for Greg, he's got hair everywhere. Look at it. It's just coming out of his face, out of the top of his
I thought it
head.
was Jesus. I was getting ready to celebrate his birthday. So
It's 13 years of hair right here.
Bitcoin Jesus. There you go.
Back to referrals though. Like I definitely do referrals on my channel, but I mean, I haven't made a lot on referrals like at all. The way I'm monetizing my channel is mostly through like sponsored reviews. I do like, I usually do 25 or 30 videos a month, and then like 3 or 4 of them will be sponsored, and of course very transparent about it when I do it. And that's how I monetize the channel. But referrals are a very touchy subject because talking about referrals to me is a lot like talking religion with people, because you can talk religion with someone or politics that absolutely fundamentally disagrees at a baseline level with whatever religion or politic opinion that you have, where referrals are very similar. There are people out there that fundamentally disagree with someone getting a small fee for sending someone to a website, especially when it may be leverage trading or an exchange or a Ponzi scheme, whatever it is. Okay. And so there are people out there that like they've made it their full-time job to talk about people that do referrals. And people that do referrals, I mean, personally, I don't have a problem with it. Like, I feel like if we're in crypto and we're saying that people are responsible for their own financial decisions, and if it's a platform that I'm specifically using, like Bybit or whatever it might be, I'm actually leverage trading on, and I give someone else the opportunity to do that, and I refer that person, I'm sending the traffic there, and I get the fee. Like, I don't see what the problem is. I don't have people that literally no one who I've ever referred has contacted me and be like, I lost all my monies. It's really just like people being outraged for the sake of being outraged about things. But like I said, at the baseline level, I don't have a problem with anyone doing referrals, but some people have a problem with it. So it doesn't matter what kind of argument or logical reasoning that you can make with other people. They just disagree with it, and that's okay. We don't all have to have, the same opinion about things.
Matt, do you do referrals on yours, or you just kind of talk about different coins? I see you're always talking about all these clever coins, Pi, and all these other good things.
I don't always do referrals. I do them once in a while if I'm involved with something. And I usually have one main rule. If the referral doesn't help out both parties, then I won't do it. I don't like doing referrals that only benefit me. They need to benefit me and the other person almost immediately. Sign up under my referral and you'll get $5 free or whatever. But I don't think it's fair to ever just say, here's my referral and I'll get something every time you put money in. That's not really a fair or balanced type of referral.
Hmm. I get it. Ben, do you do Bybit?
I do. I mean, I've got like or maybe I have 10 referrals now. So I mean, it's not like I've got, you know, I certainly haven't made a lot of money on it. But once again, like fundamentally, I think it's okay to do referrals, and I don't have a problem with it. And I kind of understand what you're saying there, Matthew, about like it should be a benefit. Like if people use my Bybit link, which I'm not going to show it on here, but if people use my Bybit link, then you know they get like free whatever. But the whole internet is driven by affiliate and referral links. That is the
Yes.
entire internet. So like when you go to an article and they have a link in there that goes somewhere, at the bottom of the page there will be a little disclaimer like this article, you know, contains affiliate links. That person's not getting anything for going there, but the person that's sending them there, the internet runs on web traffic and pushing people to different places. I mean, you know, people don't understand like almost everything you click on the internet is an affiliate or referral link.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. So let me ask: do you explain? Hey, this is really for like seasoned folks,
No,
or
no,
you
I just
just
tell them
you put
like,
it out
listen,
there and you just
if you want to lose all your money, go to this link. That's what I tell them. I say, look, if you have money and it's valuable to you, go there and I want you to lose it because I'll make so much money when you lose all your money. That's what I tell the people. No, no, I mean, of
not yet.
course, like I mean, but this whole thing of like it's only for beginner, or it's only for seasoned traders. Like, I mean, that's kind of weird to me because like, you know, how would anyone ever start? How would anyone ever begin if it's only for seasoned traders? You know, like people need to start at some level. But I always tell them like, look, it's very dangerous. I've gotten absolutely wrecked leverage trading. I've also made some really big trades and made money. It boils down to one of two things: either you are an experienced trader and you want to go there, or you're a complete degenerate gambler and you just want to take a moonshot, you know, which that's people
You
out
should
there
have the
too. You
right
know,
to do.
yeah, they have the right to do that. I mean, there are people, but I always say, or I try to always say, I know I certainly say a good bit, like, you know, if you are a degenerate gambler and you don't have money to lose, and you're the type of person that, like, you're not going to be able to feed your family if you lose in a trade, like, certainly don't go and do that, you know? But a lot of people, they have the money to burn, they have disposable income. Like, it's their responsibility. Like, how can we talk about in Bitcoin, it's be your own bank and let's be responsible for our own financial decisions, and then like if somebody uses my link and they go and they lose some money, like they blame me. Like I tell them up front, like this is up on you. This is not financial advice. If you want to try it, go try it. If you don't. I did a video that was like a spoof. You know, it was like Bybit YouTubers exposed, and it was all just about like, hey, I don't care who's doing it. You're responsible for yourself, and people hate that message. I got so many dislikes on that video. People hate hearing that you're responsible for yourself, but that's what the entire crypto space is about. So it drives me crazy. It really drives me insane, the whole thing, the whole like, you know, people that are they're people are starting to base their whole persona on Twitter or YouTube on like, hey, let's kill anyone that does referral links. Like, just be responsible for yourself, bro. You know, that's what I say.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's fair. That's fair. And like you said, and like what's Matt's point was is that they do get some free crypto out of it. So you know, there is a trade there. So I think that kind of fits what Matt was saying.
There's a lot of times when I'll be in like a chat or I'll be in a group of talking people or whatever, and they'll be like, "Hey, I just I've been using this coin or whatever, or I've been using this platform," and I'll get interested in it. But instead of just asking what it is, I'll say, "Do you have a referral link?" And that way, if I'll click on their link, and if I feel like signing up or testing it, I'll use their link. That way, they get something out of it, even if I don't like it, even if I lose a little bit of money on it or whatever. At least it got them something. Because you know what? To someone who makes $100 or $200 a day on swing trading or day trading or whatever, that 50-cent referral is not really going to mean much. But to the other guy who's on farming, who's making pennies a day, that might mean a lot to him in the long run. So I mean, it's I don't really think there is such thing as a seasoned trader. I mean, yeah, in the stock market you could be a seasoned trader, but with
Crypto's so
crypto,
new, like we don't even have a press. Like we don't have enough historical data for people to really say like, oh yeah, I've been like trading full time for like. There's a very few people that have been doing
Yeah, that's like a grade schooler saying, "Oh, look at all these high school kids. They know so much and they're so grown up and everything." It's like, no, not yet. They'll get there one day.
it. Yeah.
That makes
I think
sense.
the important thing with leverage trading is risk management. Like I am a degenerate gambler. I do like to like make really big trades. I go 25x and I've like made some huge trades and made some really big money and I've lost. I've gotten absolutely wrecked. Like I lost almost $2,000 on one trade. Everybody saw my channel like just a couple weeks ago, maybe about 6 weeks ago or something. But like that's okay if people want to do that. But if you want to do it like full time, like make a living, like be a day trader or whatever the case may be, then at that point, like it's all about risk management. If you only risk 1% of your total amount on any given trade, like you may not be a successful trader, but you're not going to lose all your money. And so like it all just boils down to like if you want to be a trader long term and you use proper risk management, you cannot, you cannot get wrecked. Like you can't. It's not possible. You have
Yeah,
stop losses in place. So
you got to set rules for yourself. I was
yeah,
watching this guy, and he was talking about stock market, crypto market, anything. You have to set your rules, and then you have to stick to your own rules. If you say I'm not going to lose more than 3%, you don't risk more than 3%. So yeah, risk management, make your own rules, and then
yeah.
stick to your rules. That's probably the hardest thing for most people in crypto.
That makes sense. I don't even bother trading. I kind of just buy and hold on to it, and I figured I'll give it 8 years, and we'll see where it goes from there. Obviously, there's the peak. Obviously, you're going to sell some at the peak and capture it back down on the trough. But the fact of the matter, I don't have time every day to sit there and swing trade.
Oh,
And do
I agree.
it.
It takes a crazy amount of time, and like if you work from home like me, you always think like, oh, I'm gonna get all this stuff done, and then I'll kind of be trading in the background. It doesn't work. You end up staring at the chart the entire time and get nothing done.
You definitely don't have the time. So, what are each one of you guys collecting these days? I've been sticking with Bitcoin, Ethereum. I also like Electroneum, so I've been sticking with that because of what they got coming out. But I really, I never was a maximalist. When I first started, I was like, wow, look at all these coins. I can get one that keeps my medical records. I got to put some money in that. Oh, look at this one's for pizza. I gotta get some of those, and luckily, as I started going through it, I'm like, why do you actually need a pizza coin? You can just use, the Ethereum or the Bitcoin. It's gonna kind of cover all of this, and so I started getting rid of all those things, and I kept it to maybe the top page, the top 50 coins, and looked into that. And luckily in May, I said to myself, I've never, throughout the whole period of the last 3 years, I've never been a Bitcoin maximalist. But then I started going to myself, I just don't need these other coins. There's no reason for them. And unless they can show me that they've got a use case, a way to earn it, a way to spend it, that it's doing some good and have some functionality. I go through that list, for Bitcoin, it should have instant payment, it should be eco-friendly, it should, and then I look at those things. And so I've been staying with Bitcoin, Ethereum and Electroneum because it actually does all those things that's on that list. If you can come up with a list of things, it does it all. So I've been just staying with those. What are you guys going with these days?
I'm with you, Dino. I'm a Electroneum and Bitcoin maximalist to some degree. I think that Ethereum is going to have a huge place with their contracts. I think that's enormous. That was a game changer in my mind. And then other than that, just been mining my own coin, which actually you can go on. You can get on GitHub and you could get the new Ross coin core Git, and you can start mining it yourself.
So you got your nodes up and running and the whole works?
Yeah, I got the Git. Oh yeah.
All right. I want something. I want a Telegram message. I want to try it.
All right, let's do it.
Is it GPU or CPU or what?
CPU.
Cool. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
You'll definitely give that a try. What are you keeping these days, Ben?
Well, I'm kind of done buying crypto right now. I like for me personally, like I have a lot of passive income that comes in through crypto. So, like I run a node with IOST. IOST is, my favorite token. I love it. It basically boils down to, I think it can compete with Tron and Ethereum and all this EOS, all the smart contract. But I run a node, so I get passive income every day with that. Every quarter, I get a huge, pretty not a huge amount, but
Which one is this?
IOST, Internet of Service
IOST.
token.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's coming in, I think, around number 60-ish, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's much more decentralized than EOS or Tron, and it offers about the same things that they offer. So to me, it's definitely good. I'm not a maximalist, but I'm at this point where just the market is so unpredictable, and I would say probably a lot of that is because of backed and the institutional money that's coming in is like we may be here for years. I don't know. So I'm just at this point where I have passive income coming from a few different sources from crypto, and I'm just happy earning that. And eventually, if the prices go back up of altcoins, then I'm going to be in a good spot with those. If not, then I guess I'll just have to convert it all over to Bitcoin. But I think in kind of this world that we live in, that like is driven by um, gig economies. It's driven by connectedness, right? Like we're all connected on the internet. We're all connected in whatever knit. Like crypto Twitter is its own little thing, but there's hundreds of different, if not thousands of different little areas of Twitter that are the same way. We have gig economies where people are, working from home and just doing a job here, job there, like on Fiverr or Upwork, whatever it might be. Like I definitely believe there is room for altcoins to do well. I think that there's so many different niches and areas of life right now where you can have a coin that is only for one specific thing. Whether it's tracking wine like VeChain does. I mean, it does more things than that, or whether it's for smart contracts or whatever the case may be. I think there's a lot of room for that. Will we get there? I don't know. I think so. I mean, I believe in a fully tokenized economy. One day where having your own cryptocurrency is like having your own website. It's like they're almost like gift cards, that encourage people, Best Buy coin, whatever it would be, Amazon coin. Obviously, that's one that would make sense. So I think eventually that's where we're gonna go, but it might be a long ways away. So I'm not a maximalist. I think that the Bitcoin maximalists are elitists, and I don't really like them. It seems like they really try to. They become the very thing that they don't like. That they began out to kind of reverse, which is this elitist, like only the rich people have money. And now it's like, only if you have Bitcoin, you can come into our club. And I hate that. So even if I did believe Bitcoin was going to be the only one, like I would never claim it out loud just because I hate a lot of those people. I like Brecky Von Bitcoin on Twitter. That's my boy. Other than that, in Bitcoin sessions, I like him too. Other than that, I think I hate all the maximalists.
What about you, Matthew?
I've got too many coins to name.
Nice. He was me 10 years, a couple of years ago.
I've kept a little bit of every coin I've ever been involved with. Some more than others. The largest portion of my portfolio right now would be Bitcoin, though. Now, I've really been keeping the coins that I can either invest in a platform or that stake, have some sort of staking, some sort of passive, because I can't really look at charts all day long either. But I have started. Perhaps you've heard of the term "little old lady" trading,
Mm-mm.
where you find the biggest losers of the day and you buy like a dollar or two's worth or whatever small percentage, and then as soon as your order fills, you set it for half of whatever you purchased at double the price, and then you just let it sit and wait till it sells. I've been trying that recently, but yeah, Bitcoin, Electroneum. I still have a lot of Prism coin, Rapids coins, M Chain credits, and probably 20 others. So I
You
call
still
myself
mining?
yeah, a little bit here, a little bit there. I've got a few GPUs running on Lithium, or I got two GPUs on Lithium. I have my CPU doing crypto tab browser. I'm going to have at least one GPU on Rasta coin, and there's another one
I'm
called
sure that one's high on the list.
It's Greg's down here.
back by weed.
Oh,
uh,
geez.
and I
I
don't think, you hear about a lot of these people say, oh, all these coins will be gone, but then when you talk about tokenizing the world and like Best Buy coin and Amazon coin, if we think about it, these coins that are already being developed and already being made and created right now, who's to say Best Buy wouldn't say, we like the way this token
Yeah.
works or this coin works. Let's buy that coin from that person that created it, change the name, and use its features and benefits, and start creating Pizza Hut coin and Domino's coin and McDonald's coin and all this stuff. So I think maybe instead of looking at these coins as just some speculative investment of how we can get rich, maybe we could look at it as, well, maybe it's a product that will sell to a bigger corporation someday. And that's why I keep all my coins.
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, I think that it is interoperability improves, and I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities. We're going to see coins merge. We're going to see off-chain and on-chain stuff work together for sure. Definitely a lot of crazy stuff. But there was recently a report put out by the lead analyst. I think he was the lead analyst at Deutsche Bank. It was very interesting. Like, it was all over the news where they were saying, like, they say by 2030, like, we'll all be using crypto. And I actually read the report. Like, I looked into the report itself instead of just reading the article. And there was some stuff in there that was absolutely fascinating. Basically they talked to uh, a bunch of people. I don't know what the number was, but 2 out of 3 people preferred using a digital or 2 out of 3 people preferred to use anything but cash. The 1 out of 3 people that said they wanted to use cash, the only reason why they said they wanted to use cash is for the privacy features of it. So the long and the short of it is, if you look at that report, 3 out of 3 people would use cryptocurrency. It's just a matter of making it easier for people to use. And when we look at the beginning of the internet, if I would have told people in 1994 or 1992 that, hey, the dry cleaner down the street, they need their own website. People would have been like, they don't need their own website. That's crazy. What? There's a famous Time article about the guy that said that people would never shop online because they prefer to go. And so the thing is, when we look 10 years in the future, when Deutsche Bank says that we'll all be using crypto in 10 years, it's going to be a totally different world. It's going to be a totally different landscape. So for people to be making arguments about, like, this coin isn't going to make it or nobody needs this, like, you're not in the same mindset that we're going to be in 10 years. And that's why it's all speculative. Bitcoin is speculative. Everything is speculative right now. And I think when you look at your investments and keep that in mind and have that same mindset that you were talking about, Matthew, where, hey, just hold on to it. Who knows where this stuff could go? I think that's the only way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me ask you. There's 4,659 coins listed on CMC. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, because they only list about 30% of the ones that are actually out there.
It says coins listed 4,659.
But there's many more that aren't listed.
Oh,
like,
yeah, there's far more than that. That's even out there.
Crazy.
There's going to be no purpose for a good majority of these. Maybe 300 will survive. I can't see them being that many coins. And the fact of the matter is that a lot of the coins that are coming up now are far more mature and can perform multiple types of services. Like you said, you were pointing out VeChain. Whether you want to track wine or the sneakers or the grapes that were grown, it can have a chain for any particular product line, a car or whatever. So you don't need a chain just for cars. It's going to get absorbed into things that are far more robust, and those types of things are just going to go away. I just can't see, and if you notice, you'll see projects going under left and right. They're running out of funds, and
do you what projects have gone under?
Mazda.
What's significant that a lot of people in crypto have heard of? None. There's zero. BitConnect. That's it. You can find coins down in the 500, 600, 700s that run out of money.
Sparkster.
You're not going to find
Spark.
that was just an ICO that didn't really launch. but there aren't a lot that are actually doing that. And the reason is because any project that has any amount of money or any access to any money, they understand what is going to happen when the next bull run happens. And so people are saying like they all need to dry up before we can go on a run. Those people are going to keep finding access to money to keep their project going because they're banking their whole lives on a bull run happening and then making all the money back and more. But the reason why we have so many coins is because we have a lot of projects that are way ahead of their time. That's the problem. You say you don't need a token for your for cars on the blockchain, whatever. You're right. Right now we don't. That's why it could go under.
No, I'm saying VeChain can handle that, and then you got IOTA that will track interaction between vehicles. You would, anything that's on the internet so I don't think that there would be a need for a chain that just does that. When
Well, let's look at the internet though. Like let's go back once again to the beginning of the internet. It's so fascinating to me to see like the mindset of people to go back and look at the history of the internet and the same arguments that are being made right now about cryptocurrency, like they were made about everything before. Like, hey, we have Amazon. You can buy anything on Amazon. Why do we need what's the name of that?
and that's true though, but
yeah.
it's absorbed everything else. Yeah, there were many. I run a store online.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to put my stuff on Amazon also.
Right.
All right, and right now it's 10% of my sales. And the fact of the matter is that there's a lot of shops that have their websites, and you can go to the website and place the order. You probably get a little better price, but then you got to pay $30 for shipping because I got that you don't have to pay on Amazon. So Amazon has absorbed, and this is what I'm saying. You're going to have certain coins that are going to absorb all the functionality of all these independent things and be brought in. Will they still be there? Maybe. I don't
They
know.
still have a place though. That's the whole point. Is like a lot of those. Amazon certainly put a lot of places out of business for sure. Amazon has put a lot more brick and mortar stores out of business than they have online stores. Even like so many stores, that you know of. I mean, if you look at the revenue share of all the top retail stores, like over the last 20 years, and watch the progression, it's absolutely insane. But the point is that even though Amazon has absorbed so many and everybody tries to sell through Amazon as well, there's still a place. Those other websites are still making money through their channels, and even if it's just for the sake of being able to have a Yelp review or whatever it might be goes to the specific website store instead of Amazon, like they have a place. And that's the point is we're not going to have 10,000 coins that have $1 billion market caps. There's not enough money out there for that. But there's still going to be a place for a lot of tokens. And I think a lot of the tokens that are going to die out, we're going to look at in the future, like pets.com or Webvan. Look at Webvan. Webvan was so ahead of its time. It was insane. My wife literally ordered this thing called Instacart today because we had to have some stuff for some cookies we're making with our kids for Santa to come. And she ordered it and they showed up at our front door and dropped it off. Webvan was offering to do that 20 years ago and nobody wanted it. So I think a lot of these projects are just ahead of their time and some will die out for sure. I only tell people on my channel and what I do personally, like I never look outside the top 100. They're pretty much completely useless to me. They might as well not even exist right now. But will some of them survive? Yeah, but a lot of them are going to be ahead of their time.
Well, I gotta go, but I'm gonna leave one last comment here. If you think about it, like I was looking, if you guys are familiar with Newegg at all, there's a lot of you buy a lot of computer components from there. But I've noticed they've also started selling more than just computer parts. They've been starting to sell a lot of home goods and things like this, and you can buy obscure items now on Newegg. And I have a feeling that a lot of these online stores will start to adopt the Amazon theme of selling everything. We're making it available at least in their store. Like
Yeah.
it might still be purchased through Amazon, but it's available on their website. And I see that happening with more and more, more and more websites that are online stores. They're kind of adopting this um, buy anything on my website mentality because all they have to do is have one source for the item and they could sell it to anybody in the world. If Dino had something that, if he started selling things that wall mirrors, and he didn't stock any well-made, but he put a link where it would buy one off of Amazon as they purchased the site. You know, Amazon could just become a hub of stores instead of the online store, you know.
That's
And
an
I think
interesting
that
thought.
could happen in crypto as well. If these people with these exchanges would realize what's happening, you have 20,000 exchanges and they only list certain amounts of coins. If they would make it so that way you would have one exchange where you could get any coin, that exchange, I believe, would put the other ones out of business, or at least basically like a crypto bank, have one place where all everybody could trade their crypto, but you would have to have some sort of credential to do it, and that would possibly keep a lot of these cryptos alive. And eventually, someone's going to figure that out. Someone's going to figure out how to bring all the cryptos together in one place, because there's more than two or three people out there that want at least one of every coin. You know, there's always a customer out there. So I think that that's what our future holds. Maybe not blockchain specific for just car tires, but maybe one place for selling and trading them all. I think that exists. So in the future.
It's like Ben
There
was
you go.
saying, interoperability, the ability the ability for different chains to interconnect and go between each other for coins, right? The whole point of we're talking about coins representing value. So if value is value, then you have value over here in this coin, value over here in this coin. There's no reason why these two values can't trade. And like you're saying, Matt, when we can figure out how to truly bring those different chains and those coins together to be able to go back and forth between, it's going to be a big deal.
I'll go with that. Anybody have any view? What's that?
Good night, Matt.
I gotta say goodbye right now. I got a crying baby over here.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to hop out too. I think my wife has returned with my food, so I'm gonna need to go eat. Yeah, I gotta
That's
go
important.
Eat, guys. Some
You
Long
don't
John
look
Silver's.
like you miss many dinners.
Come on, bro.
Look at me.
I've been on keto. I'm taking a break for a few days for Christmas. God's sake.
Not around Christmas time. You ain't missing any meals at Christmas
No,
time.
not around Christmas time. That's for sure. So, all right, guys, we'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna be out. It was nice chatting with you guys. I'll catch up with you guys in the telephone.
See you later,
Awesome.
everybody.
All right,
Night,
All right,
guys.
Bitboy. Take care, Ben.
see you.
All right.
Dino, we call it night if you want, Dino.
Yeah, we'll. I guess we'll do that. I was just curious about this coin that you're putting together. So, what did you did you fork the existing chain, or did you start from zero again? You created an empty.
Oh, it definitely started with an empty, and I started from an earlier Litecoin branch. But I'm yeah. So anyway, so it's working, and it's it's mineable. The only packages available right now are Linux based. So like I said earlier in the show, working on the Windows executable. So if I can't figure it out in the next few days, I might have to go and talk to my friend Will, the dev that I work with.
All right. So, do you have a Shaw 256 CPU miner available?
He said, I mean, it just runs on it. I don't know. It just runs CPU.
Okay, so it's running on the CPU. Okay, so you're starting from the very beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because getting hold of a CPU miner for SHA 256 should be pretty tough these days, unless you go back years.
No, I'm not even using any kind of specific miner. I'm just using just different computers and stuff.
Right. Well, it's got to be mining a specific algorithm, cryptography. So usually, Litecoin is running SHA 256, which is what Bitcoin and Litecoin is mining currently. But the problem is that they're all on ASICs. So, if I had a SHA 256 ASIC, I would hook it up and blow you out of the water.
I was thinking about that actually.
But I don't have one, so I'd have to use a CPU or a GPU. But finding the code, a miner that I could run would be tough. You're mining it right out of the wallet.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, yeah. So you're mining right out of the wallet. So my job is to find a GPU SHA 256 miner and hook it up so that I get 90% of the coins.
I'll just shut the
And you can be
room
like, "How
down
come I'm not
immediately.
earning anything? What's going on?"
Oh, shit.
That's
hilarious.
funny. If I get a chance, I'll take a look at it. It's gonna be tough, obviously, during Christmas, but that's awesome. I wish I had the time. You know, I envy you because I wish I had the time to do that. I would love to be writing some code. I wrote code for 30 years. I enjoyed every bit of it, and I miss it. And you know, and I really wish I had time to tinker again.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
really
It's
do.
it's beginning. It's a brand new thing for me, to be honest. So it's enjoyable.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Anything else exciting and new you want to tell everybody?
Um, Now, as far as like I said, the most exciting thing for me in the world of ETN and crypto, besides working on this coin, was the fact that these two artists from Uganda got on ETN Marketplace. That was exciting for me. You know, I feel like it made a nice connection from America to Africa. You know, and these guys saw immediate returns. You know, we were putting out the tweets on the Electroneum Universe Twitter and letting people know that they had the song available, gave them a sample that they could listen to. And within the first week, the first artist, Young Dog, you know, he had several downloads, purchases. And so, you know, as soon as they start, you know, getting some kind of positive feedback, they could pass it on to their friends and stuff. So hopefully, again, it's a benefit to them.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be, and I'm sure they'll probably take advantage of the AnyTask system when that comes online too for requests or stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so between the two of them, that's pretty awesome. All right, so I'm gonna call it a night also,
All right,
and I
brother.
appreciate you hanging out with me and being part of this and everything. I'm glad that you made it, and
Thank you.
we'll have to get together and get an Electroneum guys together so we can discuss all the cool stuff that's going on with Electroneum.
Yeah, I would
So
love it. I would, like I told you earlier, I was thinking about this, doing the same thing, just putting a post up and saying Electroneum, you know, conference, get together, you know, live stream, whatever. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
yeah, I figured, what the heck, let's give it a shot. If anybody shows up, that's great. If not, I'll just talk to myself.
Well, I mean, here's the other thing is we could do it like a real public event. Like we could stick it up on Twitter and let anyone in the world show up, and then you can monitor uh, whose microphone's allowed to be unmuted. You could have people raise their hands and you could see it, you know, in the participants list, who's raising their hand. They have a question, unmute them, let them raise a question, and then, you know, if you want to have guests, you could have guests. X,
You
Y,
could do
Z.
that with Zoom. I saw that they have a phone number, so I can invite, and then I can give a phone number that you can call into and join the meeting code
Yeah, so check it
and
out.
to do your voice.
Where is it?
But
Oh, it's under participants, I think. No, where the heck is it? Somewhere there's an invite. Oh, there, just right next to participants.
yeah, invite. You have the default Gmail. Then you can copy the URL.
I think
But there
copy
was
invitation. Let's see what the copy invitation does. Uh,
well, I was looking at it before, and I saw that it said here you can use this phone number to invite
oh yeah,
people.
yeah. People
Here it
can
is
call.
here. So I have a number here. Dial by your location, and there's a New York number, and then your meeting ID, and so people could dial in on the phone, and then put this meeting ID number in, and then I would imagine they would show up on the
Yeah,
thing here, and you can let them. I don't know if they get to listen or.
yeah. They all only thing they do get to do is listen, and then I guess there must be some kind of star button or some kind of code they have to push if they want to talk.
All right. Let's see here. So you can mute people, allow recording, stop, chat, remove, rename. I would tend to think that somewhere I'm gonna have to play with this because you would think that there's some place that you could set up and set defaults
Yeah.
for different classes of login.
If you go
I
on
haven't
your
used.
if you go on the computer on your desktop and go into zoom.us and go and log into your account, there's a lot more settings in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play with this because if I can get that to work, I think that would be really cool to be able to let people dial in. Yeah, that's why I have a call-in option, so I can bring up a window and let people, actually go to the web thing, and it'll bring them right up using on their cell phone or whatever, and they can talk. But the problem is that if somebody else types that URL link, it knocks this person out and puts the new person
Oh no.
in the
Oh,
middle
no.
of the thing. So you can't like lock the person in place, so everybody else gets a busy signal, and then when you're done, you unlock them and they get knocked out and somebody new can come in. So I'm hoping that they fix that in the next version. That would be kind of cool to
Heck
do.
yeah.
But I would think Zoom. I'll have to read the manual.
Hey, if you click on right next to where it says stop video, there's a little arrow pointing up.
Stop video. Let's see here.
There's an arrow pointing up next to the right of stop.
Yeah.
If you click
Video
on that
settings.
arrow, yeah, and you click on video settings, I think, or maybe choose a virtual background. One of those two, I can't remember. But you could do a green screen on Zoom.
Where's the virtual background?
Uh,
Turn off
where-
my video and join me. Enable high definition recording statistics.
Go back out again and just click on the arrow again, right above video settings. Just choose a virtual background.
Select the camera. Mix video settings. I just have video settings
You don't
and
have
different
choose a virtual
cameras.
background?
I don't have choose a virtual background. It just says video settings.
Let me see if mine works or not.
And then if I go into the video,
Oh no, it's not that. You don't want virtual setting. Is it virtual settings?
you got enable HD, touch up my appearance. Touch up my appearance. Oh, it can make me look handsome with hair.
I know.
Hide non-video participants. Display up to 49 participants in the gallery. Holy smokes. Accessibility.
You got the paid version or the free version?
Free. And that's probably my problem.
Well, I don't know. I don't know which. No, I don't know if it's always if it's because it's free or not. But if you go in your settings, let's see. Yeah, even under my regular video settings, it has virtual background. But it's telling me right now on this computer, your processor does not meet the specifications. So it might be the other computer I use for that.
You're going to have to get rid of that Commodore 64 you're using.
Hey, I had a Commodore VIC 28. That was my first
Big
computer.
20.
I won it when I was first grade. I won it for selling chocolate bars in my Catholic school.
First grade. I was writing video games for that thing when I was 18.
For real?
Yeah, I was writing. I was in Compute Magazine. I was the VIC 20 was one of the first machines.
Yeah, VIC 20.
Yep, and then before that, I was writing stuff for the TRS 80. I had 4K and with a cassette deck, and it had 4K of memory, and you could light up a little cube that was about a 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch and turn it on and off. So you would make things that go bloop 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 bloop, and lights and the problem lies you had to write all in Z80 machine language, assembly language, because with 4K you literally had maybe 6 pages of code you could put into it, and that was it.
Oh, wow.
If you were writing in BASIC, you could literally a page and a half of BASIC. That's all you could fit, and you would use up your 4K. And 4K. I'm not talking 4 megs, 4 gigs, 4 terabytes. I'm talking 4K. That's how much I had. That was in 1979, but that was a long time ago. But the VIC 20, that changed everything. You could set up sprites and it would have color, and it's in the Commodore 64. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna play with this.
Both of those.
Yeah, it's good. It's all great stuff.
The Commodore 64 actually at that time had really good video games.
Oh yeah. I wrote. You had sprites, so you could literally memory map a character. And the cool thing about it is, because normally if you have a screen, you would have to interact with the pixels that are on the screen. So you would have to remove them, and then you would have to remember what was behind it. So as it went across, you would have to rewrite what was there, the background again. 64 gave you a sprite, so you had 128 by 64 space, you can actually create your character. You can all run through a series of sprites to animate it. But the thing is, you can then position it anywhere on the screen. So it was like a layer. You were able to have the background, but then you could move the sprite over it so that you didn't have to worry about managing the background. You just put the background there, and then you move the sprite wherever you wanted. And that was the coolest thing. Huh?
That's where you got that initial 2D games of like having a background that stood still kind of, and the person would go across that.
Go across, exactly. You could do that, or you could have motion coming at you, like stars just coming at you, and that could just be a thing. And then you can move your spaceship around. It's independent of what's going on in the background. So you could have a series of things. We wrote Cookie Climber. We wrote what was it? Pogo. We did Star Slayer. We wrote for the Commodore 64. Yeah, I would come home. My mom, it was funny. I'd come home. I was 18. I was in school. I'd come home from high school, and I'd go down into the basement. My mom's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Working on computers, Ma." And I'd go downstairs, and I invented a copy protection system. It was the funniest thing. Everybody was trying to figure out how to keep, because you would just put it in the Commodore 64 hard drive and you'd copy it over. Right. So I invented a methodology where you'd write that on the Commodore 64 drive, and then you go over, and I would stick it in an Apple computer drive, and because the Apple tools were far more sophisticated than the 64, and then I would delete one of the tracks on the disk right in the middle of the disk. So when the Commodore 64, you would do a copy, and it would start reading through the disk, and it would start to copy, and then as soon as it hit the track that it couldn't read, it would error out and stop. No way. And that was the first copy protection that was out there, and I invented that, and everybody started copying it. Yeah, I just deleted the track off of it, and it kept it from working. And then somebody made tools that if it got a bad track, it would skip it and then go on, so that you had to come up with something new.
I used that program that would fix the skipped errors, I think.
Yep, that I was the one that came up with that stupid thing, and how I did it is I put it in an Apple drive and erased the track.
That's crazy.
That's how I did it, and it was fun. So yeah, I'd be down there making, and I was making these things one at a time, copying them. I have a couple of drives, and I'm shipping them all over the world. I'd take a box of them, and I'd bring it down to the post office and send these stupid things out. And I was like, "What are you doing?" "I'm having fun with computers, Ma." She had no idea. I'm like running this business downstairs in the basement making video games. I had no idea. It's pretty funny.
Awesome, man. That's so cool.
Yeah, you gotta laugh. All right, I'm gonna call it a night. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Okay.
Looking forward to it. Happy holidays, brother.
You too, and Merry Christmas, and everybody else have a happy holiday. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Yes, thank you guys. One love. Peace.
All right.
See you, Dino.
Good night, Greg.